Good morning. Happy Friday. It's March 28th. I'm a little weirded out this morning and I got a lot to talk about and I don't even really know where to start. So I don't know, about a month and a half ago or so, I started putting out random predictions that were just solely intuition based, not astrology or cards or anything like that. And the only ones that haven't happened yet is, well, the volcano hasn't erupted yet, but it's about to. The tsunami hasn't happened yet, but the warnings are out today because the earthquake part happened early this morning. And the plane explosion hasn't happened yet. Other than that, the tornadoes, the fires, the earthquake now, like I said, volcano is about to go in Alaska. Those have all happened, and I'm a little weirded out by that because I never really considered myself that type of psychic. I was hoping I was wrong and just crazy, but looks like I might not have been. And I'm getting a little taste of what Neptune and Aries might look like for me, and I'm not sure how I feel about this, okay? But this weekend, on Sunday morning, Neptune moves into Aries. Now, a lot of us have talked about how the last time this happened was 1861. It moved into Aries the day after the start of the Civil War. Now, the thing about that is a lot of us didn't learn accurate history. I know my textbooks were altered by, the whole campaign of the Daughters of the Confederacy back in the 60s, right? My textbooks was from the 70s, even though I was in high school in the 90s, right? So we didn't have accurate history here. But the truth about the Civil War is the North did not invade the South to free the slaves. The South attacked the North because they didn't like the laws that they were beginning to implement concerning slavery. And the North simply responded to that attack. That being said, that's what Neptune in Aries is. It is willing to fight for your beliefs, your deeply held beliefs, the ones that are held on blind faith, the ones that you don't necessarily have any proof as to why you believe them, you just believe them. There is a religious superiority complex attached to this. The belief that the folks of the South had the God-given right to own human beings, right? And we currently have a lot of people here in the United States that are Christian nationalists that believe that they have the God-given right to manifest destiny, take whatever they want, and make everybody believe as they believe. So chances are pretty good that if we do see any kind of event start, any kind of thing happen that kicks something off, it is likely to come from those who believe that they have a God-given right to do so, okay? The response to it will be simply that, a response. However, I don't think we're going to see that happen this weekend. We have the solar eclipse happening this weekend. It's at 9 degrees of Aries. It's a partial solar eclipse. It is as far as it can get from the North Node and still be considered an eclipse. So it's not super intense, but it is still an eclipse. It does still remove things from your life because that's what eclipses do. It eclipses things out of your life. It is a North Node eclipse, so it is for the purposes of moving forward. Now, the eclipse itself, the new moon portion, is in Aries, but the North Node is in Pisces. So there is this new beginning of Aries energy where we're being more courageous, we're speaking up for ourselves, we're being more authentic, we're being more spontaneous, more childlike, learning how to have a little more fun type of energy. It's also feisty. Remember that Mars, which is what's ruling it, is in Cancer, where it doesn't like to be. And it's emotional, and it's getting, that anger of emotion, side of emotions. So there is like this energy of just wanting to, stand up for something, wanting to defend yourself type of energy. But with that North Node in Pisces, there is this underlying tone of listening to your intuition and allowing yourself to be more guided and letting go of that Virgo, having to have all of the details in place before doing something type of energy. Now, I find this interesting because Neptune, the ruling planet of the North Node in Pisces, is going to move into Aries just 24 hours later. Actually, just a few hours after the eclipse is exact, Mercury backtracks back into Pisces and it goes into a conjunction with Neptune. So there's so much intuition and clarity. We've had a lot of stuff coming up over the weekend since last Friday with these conjunctions to the sun with Venus and Mercury. And Venus has already backtracked into Pisces, and now Mercury is going to do the same. There's so much listening to your intuition, paying attention to what's being revealed, because these things being retrograde in Pisces is like lifting the veil. It's bringing you out of whatever, delulu, fog, or whatever that you may have been in, and showing you actual truth. When you have something retrograde in Pisces, it's undoing that fog. And then Neptune's going to move into Aries. So there's like this energy of wanting to fight for what you believe in. It's also about leading, taking action based on your intuition as well. So really, there can be a lot of delusion in the actions that are taken with Neptune and Pisces. There can be a lot of religious superiority complex involved in it. But the positive side, the best way to use that is by allowing your intuition to guide you a little more and getting more in tune with that side of yourself, okay? This is all about setting that new seed. That's why I don't really think that we're going to see anything major happen this weekend between Mars being bogged down in Cancer and Mercury and Venus being retrograde. I just don't think we're actually going to see people taking full action this weekend because it is planting the seed. I don't think we're going to see anything until closer to the full moon in April 12th. But still, we could still see like some one-offs here and there though, so keep that in mind. So let's pull you guys some cards for the weekend. What is the energy? Oh, look, Justice. That was quick. So balancing of the scales this weekend. There is this things becoming clear and being able to see that whole picture, right? And justice prevailing type of energy. Let's see, what's to focus on this weekend? I really think a lot of these realizations that we've had over these last few days really is contributing to justice. I actually got this for myself today. It's adding to that. We're seeing things so much more clearly with these conjunctions to the sun and the retrogrades back into Pisces that we can kind of almost create our own justice by balancing our own scales here. But also I think like the universe is going to play a role in this as well with there being the eclipse here. Okay, so what we're focusing on is the Four of Wands, your own happiness, your own stability, and like Wands is fire energy, right? It's about being spontaneous and fun and enjoying yourself and passionate type of energy. So, and fours are all about stability, right? So focus on that when we're dealing with this eclipse, with this new moon. How do you want to be more stable in that passion and that drive and that bravery and that courageousness, okay? What to avoid this weekend? I do think we're going to see a little something happen this weekend that's going to kind of click a lot of stuff for people. We're avoiding death, so maybe not ending things. So here's what I'm kind of seeing happening is over these next 2 weeks, really, there's a lot more stuff that's going to happen that is going to snap a lot of people out of whatever delusion they've been in. And I think a lot of people are going to be very angry when that happens. If you've ever been on the receiving end of finding out that you've been lied to, manipulated, cheated on, people sneaking around doing stuff behind your back or whatever, from somebody that you trusted, and realizing that they played you for a fool right in front of your face and made you look stupid to everybody else, if you remember that blind rage that you felt when you realized that, I think that's what we're going to start seeing happening out in the world here in the very near future over these next couple of weeks, and that's where the reaction is going to come from. So maybe don't write people off just yet, okay? Don't completely end things. My kind of stance on this right now, I know a lot of people don't want to have empathy for some folks for good reason, but I also know that it's about what you're raised with. If you don't know better, most people don't understand things until it affects them personally. It's normal for people not to get it, okay? But as soon as it starts affecting them, then they start snapping out of it and they start getting it. Maybe close the door, but don't lock it, right? Like, make sure that they know that when they come around, you're a place that they can come to and actually talk to and wrap their head around it. Don't isolate people that are going through it, right? It's not good for anyone, okay? Clarifiers for the Justice here. Clarifiers for Justice. And honestly, I think even if we do start seeing some fighting popping off here in the U.S. over the next several months, because it will happen. It will be a thing, especially starting around June. It's going to happen. I think the weather is going to be such an issue. Like, that's going to be the main issue type of thing. So keep that in mind too. Clarifiers for Justice. I think we're going to be put in a position where we have to take care of each other instead of fighting each other. All right, we have Page of Cups and the Sword. It's Star, the Sword. The Star. So there is kind of a feel-good energy going on here, right? This is a healing energy with the Star, hope or whatever. And Page of Cups, this is like that, just being kind. It's like an innocent kindness here. Again, the scales are balancing. Things are starting to balance their way out. A lot of people are kind of coming around to a different side of seeing things. And there's just this energy of maybe letting people in, letting them talk about it, letting them, it's a grieving process. You know, you've wrapped your entire belief system around something and then find out that things aren't what you had been told or believed your whole life, okay? So keep that in mind. It's just this energy of things starting to shift to a more balanced space. Now, that doesn't mean things are going to feel balanced out in the world going forward, because a lot of people will fight it. Just keep that in mind. It might feel good for you, but somebody outside of you is getting real pissed off about it, okay? Clarifiers for our Four of Wands that we are focusing on. We've got a Four of Swords, so that's like that resting your mind, letting go of some of those harder thoughts that pop in your mind. That's too many cards. Try again. Just one. And Page of Wands. I like it. So, resting your mind, letting go of some of those hard thoughts that you've been holding on to. It's just like a little wounded warrior. Remember, this comes after the Three of Swords, right? So it comes after that heartache, and then we rest our minds. And then the Page of Wands here, where we're seeing a little more excitement, a little bit more fun energy. That's just that Aries type of energy that we're seeing with the Page of Wands. Kind of fun, kind of childlike, kind of just innocent and playful type of energy here. So let's pull for the Death card, clarifiers. Why are we avoiding death here? By the way, it was Ace of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so that new energy, that new passion and drive coming out. Okay, so we've got Seven of Cups. We are avoiding death because we have Seven of Cups. The confusion, there's so much going on. You can't really see the whole picture clearly here. Very Neptunian. And the Knight of Cups. So maybe you're not really seeing this Knight of Cups. Maybe there's even like some kind of offer coming in or something that you're not really trusting just because of everything else that's going on, or you've got so much stuff on your plate, right? Just don't shut everybody out. Listen to your intuition for sure, but don't shut people out just because of fear. Neptune can bring a lot of fear, by the way. It can bring that paranoia for sure. So just keep that in mind. Don't shut people out because you're scared. Listen to your intuition and slow down. At the very least, maybe hear them out. Bottom of the deck is Eight of Swords. So all of these revelations that we've been having over the past week, you may have been just kind of spinning them around in your head. Make sure that you're slowing down and listening to what people are actually saying, listening to your intuition. Like I said, The masks are dropping. Things are so chaotic. And when things are chaotic, people cannot keep that mask up. And you're going to start seeing people for who they really are. Trust your intuition when it comes to this, good or bad. There are some people that, you might be scared to trust someone because of someone else that you did trust dropping their mask, right? So try your best to just slow down and let your intuition guide you throughout this weekend.